now tuned into the greatest.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sage Be Me podcast. I will be your host for today's Sage Be Me. And today we're going to be talking about the Tendium and Tyranny of Karma. So, Sadhguru, in his book, it starts off talking about how different people have different karmic energy. He talks about how guys have different karmic bodies. The physical body is the first body. He calls it the Annamaya Kosha. Each human being has a mental body, Manomaya Kosha, if I'm not mistaken, and an energy body, Pranamaya Kosha. So there are other bodies, namely eccentric body, Viganamaya Kosha, and a bliss body, Anandamaya Kosha. So he says, even if you lose your life, you still have your karma on. No matter what happens, you will still have your karma on if you've not mastered on working on the dimension of the eccentric and the bliss bodies. Because once you go to the other bodies, the first three, the human body, physical body, the mental body, and an energetic body, that's where your karma affects you. But once you move to the bliss body, and I feel like start using the terms that you use so that I don't forget. Anyways, once you move to the eccentric body and the bliss body, once you begin touching them, that's when your karma stops affecting you. That's when you are able to move to a different form. By what do I mean by a different form? As in, you get to experience life without your karma affecting it. Anyways, he says that the moment you begin to taste divine, that's when your karma has no hold over you. But we'll talk about this in part 2. He says that how the world has developed, like back in the day, people used to store memory in diskettes. They went to CDs. From CDs now, it's come to storing it in a hard disk. Now there's the cloud. Saying that in the future, he's saying that people will be able to store memory directly on energy. And as we know, energy is everywhere because everything is vibrating at a different frequency, a frequency on its own. So since he's saying that we'll be able to store energy, he's saying that it might not happen today, it also might not happen tomorrow, but eventually it will happen in the future. So he talks about how he initiates guys into the spiritual world. Once a person is initiated into the spiritual world, the process of initiation is the same, but the behavior of a person all depends on his karmic energy. People have different karmic energy, hence he continues explaining. No person who is faced with anxiety, depression, behaves the same. Even a mad person, a loon, lunar person, like Looney Tunes, loony person, even a loony person, each and every one of them behaves differently. None of them behave the same. This is because the karma is different. He says that because your karma is completely different from another person, and by your life ending, just to sum it up, whatever he says, it doesn't matter what kind of death you encounter, and you haven't stepped into the bliss of the eccentric body, your karma will still follow you even till death. It will follow you. By you, I don't mean your body, I mean the spiritual energy inside the body. So the karma follows you. So there's no escaping it, only entering into the bliss and the eccentric energies. That's how you escape your karma. So when he's initiating people, everyone has a different response. He says that karma, these are like a karmic cycle. You can be successful riding this cycle, as in you know how to ride the cycle, but your karma still affects you. He even comes and tells us something about us humans. When you're hungry, you eat, right? So when your stomach is empty, your only problem is how you're going to get food on top of the table. But one thing is for sure, that even though you're hungry, you eat. Then after eating, that's where more problems arrive. That's where everything, all hell breaks loose, because you get more problems when you're not hungry than when you're hungry. And that's just how your karma affects you, as humans. So on this deadly Tendium, he says, unless you've loosened your grip of karma, there is no way out. This is the deadly Tendium and tyranny of the karmic rant. This is also why people have formed time immemorial sought something more, even though they do not know what it is. Like an example, people seek God, yet you don't know what God is. You are searching for a supreme being. Anyways, this condition has been given many names. The condition for searching something that you don't know. From existential discontent, you're not contented with anything, and enum to simple anxiety and unease. You're filled with anxiety and unease just like that. This is the karma in you. You keep on searching for something that you don't know. You're just seated, but you're at an ease. All this is happening because your karmic energy has a grip on you. So as we enter into the new year, I think we'll have more episodes coming up next week. Let's say a minimum of 3. And there's something coming up. I don't know if most of you guys who listen to the podcast are Kenyans or outside the African continent, but there'll be a new podcast, something dope, something that is quite interesting. So we'll be working on how to push it, how to record it, just so that everyone can get good content and educational stuff. Anyways, that's all for today, folks. It was the deadly karmic Tendium and Tyranny, and have a joyous new year. And before I forget, make sure you follow me on my socials. That's Sage_B, me on Twitter, Sage_B_muchachos on Instagram, and welcome to the Sage Be Me podcast.